Your brain becomes efficient at generating thoughts of I am not enough. We literally think thousands of thoughts every day. When we think about thoughts, they come in layers. For example, they can be quite surface level, but they can also be quite deep thoughts and hold our underlying belief system. Generally, thoughts are either positive, negative, or neutral. We actually need to be checking in with our thoughts quite often and asking ourselves questions. Is this thought true? Do I believe this thought? Do I like thinking this thought? Why do we need to be doing this? Because every thought that we have kind of matters, and we actually have the power to choose how we think. Some people can go their whole lives not really questioning the way that they think, but we need to be questioning our thoughts. What you think, you become. How? Because what we think influences how we feel. So positive thoughts lead to positive emotions, negative thoughts lead to negative emotion. Emotions influence our motivation, our energy, and the decisions that we actually make in life. Actions, or even no actions, influences our life experience. The results that we get from our life experience creates the beliefs that we have. You may be wondering how the subconscious mind has anything to do with this. It is estimated that 95% of our daily decisions and behaviors comes from our subconscious mind. This part of our brain operates below conscious awareness and stores all of our memories, our past experiences, our beliefs, and our habits. Our subconscious mind acts on a autopilot system, running programs based on the information that it has stored. If you are repeatedly saying to yourself, I am not enough, you are feeding your subconscious mind, and it becomes a belief in which the subconscious mind adopts as a program. It's a cycle or a feedback loop. Your brain becomes efficient at generating thoughts of I am not enough. This is why what you think, you become. If you constantly believe that you're a failure, you might unconsciously sabotage your efforts, making failure more likely to happen. Your thoughts direct your attention. If you focus on problems, you'll see problems. If you focus on solutions, you'll see solutions. How do you become the best version of yourself? Through the way that you think. First step is that we need to cultivate a positive and empowering mindset. We need to become aware of our thoughts. How do you talk to yourself? Are you mostly positive, supportive, or are you quite negative and sort of self-loathing? You can't change what you're not aware of. I recently did a video on awareness and how it is a catalyst for change. I do recommend that you watch this video if you are needing inspiration on how to build awareness into your life. If you find yourself thinking negatively a lot, some of that might be what we call a limiting belief system. A limiting belief, which is a thought or a belief that you hold about yourself or others or about the world, and it restricts you in some way. For example, if you tell yourself, I'm unlovable, I will never find love, that is a limiting belief, and you need to be taking a good hard look at that thought and ask yourself, is that actually true? Why do I think like that? And find evidence that contradicts that thought so that you can start to build a new thought pattern that's more positive, such as I am lovable, I have love. This is where the practice of positive affirmations comes in. I have love all around me, I am lovable. Essentially, we want to be positive as much as possible so that we can reprogram our subconscious mind. Remember that 95% of our decisions and behaviors comes from our subconscious mind. The way that we think programs our subconscious mind. We want to be consciously thinking positive thoughts. Initially, when you are practicing this, you will not believe the more positive conscious thought, but you need to be disciplined, and every time a negative thought comes up that you are trying to change, you do need to replace it with a more positive thought. Keep doing it at any moment, every day. So if you are someone that thinks you're unlovable, and every time you get an unlovable thought, you replace it with I am lovable, I am surrounded by love, I am loving, I am worthy of love, and just keep doing it. One day you will wake up and think and feel in a loving way, and it will feel so natural. It won't feel forced, and you'll actually start to believe it. This will be your cue that your subconscious mind has built the new program. I recently read this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, who is a extraordinary woman. This book was actually written in like the 80s, and she's a really big believer in affirmations. A practice that I took away from this book is that if you're sort of new to affirmations, she recommends just adopting this affirmation of I accept myself. I accept myself is a really wonderful affirmation because no matter where you are in your life, our challenging negative thoughts generally are around this idea that we don't accept ourselves. If you're struggling to find an affirmation that maybe resonates, just start with I accept myself and just keep doing it until you believe it. I have been practicing that affirmation daily for about a month. Some days I do it a lot, some days not so much. And I did really start to notice this shift where if I made mistakes or did something silly, and usually I might self-loathe, I actually found more acceptance around it and sort of laughed it off and thought I'm just a human and I'm just doing the best that I can. And it's really simple and very effective, so definitely recommend adopting a affirmation of I accept myself. Once you have cultivated a positive and empowering mindset, the barrier between where you are now and where you would like to be starts to break down, and you can actually become more clear on who you want to be. Ask that to yourself right now. Who do you truly want to be? Be very specific and clear, and don't be afraid to ask yourself why you want to be that person. Want to understand the reasons as to why we want to be a particular way. Understand the reasons behind our desires to become the best version of ourselves. Literally visualize it. Close your eyes. Imagine it's already happening. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Because the more we emotionally connect with the person who we want to become, the more real it feels, the more our subconscious mind will align with it, which will influence our motivation to achieve it. When we are motivated to achieve something that feels meaningful, we are going to need to take aligned action. We can spend a lot of time rewiring our brain to think more positively. We do need to take inspired, consistent action that also aligns with those thoughts. This is going to move you closer to becoming the person who you want to become. If we've spent a really long time living in a limiting belief system, we're not good enough or not worthy enough, it can be a little bit overwhelming to know where to begin. Try dividing really big goals into small goals. Let's say that you want to meditate for 40 minutes a day. You would want to break that down to a manageable step, maybe just starting with 5 minutes a day and seeing where that goes. There's no rush to change. You are on your own timeline. There's no need to rush. Just incorporate small actions into your daily life. I'm such a big believer in small change is big results. Stay committed to being consistent, and if you keep doing it, it's going to build momentum. When you have built a positive mindset and you are on the path of knowing what you want, who you want to be, you'll notice opportunities come up that maybe you didn't recognize before. You'll notice opportunities that arise and be ready to seize them. We actually have a system in our brain called the reticular activating system, which actually helps filter out information that aligns with our focus. When we're on this journey of becoming aware of our thoughts and changing the way that we think and becoming the best version of ourselves, it's not going to be an easy journey. It's not easy being positive. It's not easy trying to be positive. It's not easy challenging your limiting belief systems. It will take time. It's not an overnight thing. It's a lifelong journey. We will be challenged. Do try to let go and trust the process. You may have an idea of who you want to be, but don't attach to it. Be open to unexpected possibilities and divine timing. The universe or your subconscious mind is working on your behalf. It's working with you. Surround yourself with positivity. Seek out people that inspire you and uplift you. Take care of yourself, because a healthy mind and a healthy body makes it much easier to think positive thoughts. What you think, you become. You have a choice. We can cultivate a positive, empowering mindset. We can challenge limiting beliefs and understand the profound connection between our mental state and our external reality. By consciously shaping our thoughts, so by building awareness of our thoughts and affirmations, we can, to a large degree, really change our lives. We can shape who we become and the life that we lead. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what thought or belief system you've become aware of about yourself and are actively trying to change. It will take time, and just remember that you are whole and perfect as you are right now. There's no need to change. You can be exactly who you are I think we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, but we just need to remember that it is a journey and we must fall in love with the journey and not the destination. Give yourself lots of love, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.